When the lawyer called, Rebecca Hart thought it was a scam. "Ms. Hart, I'm calling regarding the estate of Theodore Carver. You've been named as the sole beneficiary." Rebecca frowned, phone pressed to her ear as she navigated Boston's crowded streets. "I don't know anyone named Theodore Carver. He was your uncle, your father's brother. The estate is valued at approximately $4.2 million. Rebecca stopped walking. People flowed around her on the sidewalk. "My father was an only child. According to our records, Theodore Carver was your paternal uncle. Perhaps your father never mentioned him. Family estrangements are common. In any case, the will is quite clear. You're the heir. $4 million. Rebecca's mind raced. Her student loans, her cramped studio apartment in Somerville, the medical bills from her mother's final year. "What do I need to do?" she asked. "Come to our office, we'll discuss the terms." The law firm of Whitmore and Associates occupied the third floor of a brick building in Cambridge that looked like it hadn't been renovated since the 1950s. The lawyer, Mr. Whitmore, was elderly, 70s at least, with papery skin and eyes that seemed too large behind thick glasses. He slid a leather folder across his desk. "The will is straightforward. You inherit everything: cash assets, investments, and 13 properties across the United States. However, there is one condition." "What condition?" "You must spend one complete night in each of the 13 properties, sunset to sunrise, all 13 consecutively. No exceptions." Rebecca blinked. "That's it? I just have to sleep in 13 houses?" "Essentially, yes." Whitmore opened the folder. Inside was a list of addresses, handwritten in elegant script. "You must visit them in the order specified, one night each. Once you complete the 13th property, the inheritance transfers to you in full." Rebecca scanned the list. The addresses were scattered: Maine, Vermont, Ohio, Tennessee, Louisiana, New Mexico, Oregon. "Why would he care if I stay in the houses?" "I don't know. Your uncle was an eccentric man, but the will is legally binding. If you refuse or fail to complete all 13 nights, the estate goes to charity. $4 million for 13 nights in empty houses. It seemed absurd. Too easy. "When do I start?" Whitmore pulled out a set of keys. "Tonight, if you wish. The first property is in Salem, New Hampshire, just 90 minutes from here." Rebecca took the keys. They were old, brass, tarnished, heavy in her palm. "One more thing," Whitmore said as she stood to leave. "Your uncle left a note. He said you should remember. The houses remember everyone who enters. I'm not sure what he meant by that." Rebecca forced a smile. He sounds like he had a sense of humor. Whitmore didn't smile back. "Perhaps. House 1, New Hampshire." The address led Rebecca down a dirt road surrounded by pine forest. No streetlights, no other houses, just trees pressing in from all sides. The house appeared suddenly, a 2-story colonial, gray paint peeling, shutters hanging crooked. The windows were dark, dead leaves covered the porch. Rebecca checked her phone. 7:43 p.m. Sunset had been 20 minutes ago. She was officially on the clock. The key turned stiffly in the lock. The door swung open with a groan, revealing a dark interior that smelled of rot and mildew. Rebecca found a light switch. Nothing happened. No power. She pulled out her phone's flashlight and stepped inside. The house was furnished. Old furniture covered in dust. Family photos on the walls, showing people she didn't recognize. Everything felt frozen in time, like the occupants had simply vanished decades ago. Rebecca found the living room and set up camp on a sagging couch. She'd brought a sleeping bag, snacks, water. She just had to make it until sunrise. The first hour was fine, boring even. She scrolled through her phone, texted friends, tried to ignore the oppressive silence. Then she heard it, whispering, soft at first, coming from somewhere inside the walls. Multiple voices overlapping, too muffled to understand. Rebecca stood, heart quickening. She walked to the nearest wall and pressed her ear against it. The whispering intensified. Dozens of voices, maybe more. all speaking at once. She caught fragments. "She's here. Another one. Won't last," Rebecca jerked back. The whispering stopped. She stood in the silent house, breathing hard. Just old pipes, settling wood. Houses make noises. That's all. She returned to the couch, tried to sleep. But every time she closed her eyes, the whispering started again, surrounding her, coming from every wall, every corner. Voices that sounded hungry. She didn't sleep. She waited, trembling, until dawn broke through the filthy windows. When she stepped outside into the morning light, she felt wrong, hollowed out, like something had been taken from her during the night. But she had 4 million reasons to continue. House 2, Vermont. The second house was worse. It was a small cabin in the woods, single story. And when Rebecca opened the door, she understood immediately what made it different. No windows. None. Just walls on all sides. The door closed behind her with a heavy thud. Darkness swallowed her instantly. Complete, absolute darkness. Her phone's flashlight barely penetrated it, like the shadows were somehow denser here. Rebecca's breath quickened. She'd never been afraid of the dark. But this was different. This darkness had weight. It pressed against her skin, against her eyes. She felt her way to the center of the room and sat down, phone clutched in both hands. The battery was at 64%. It had to last until sunrise. Hours crawled by. The darkness never lessened, and as midnight approached, Rebecca realized she wasn't alone. Something was moving in the dark. She heard it, soft footsteps circling her, breathing that wasn't hers. Then she felt it. Hands, cold fingers brushing against her shoulder, her arm, her face. Gentle touches that made her skin crawl. She spun around, flashlight sweeping the darkness. Nothing. No one. But the touches continued. More hands now. Dozens of them. Stroking her hair, tracing her spine, reaching for her throat. Rebecca screamed. The sound died instantly, swallowed by the dark. The hands never stopped, all night, touching, claiming, until sunrise finally came, and the door opened on its own. Rebecca stumbled out into daylight, gasping. Her skin crawled with phantom sensations. And when she looked at her hands, she noticed something wrong. The skin was drier, rougher, like she'd aged years in a single night. Houses 3, 4, and 5. Each house was different. Each one took something from her. The third house in Akron, Ohio had mirrors everywhere, walls covered in them. Rebecca spent the night watching her reflection move independently, mimicking her with a delay, smiling when she didn't smile. The fourth house in Nashville had no doors between rooms, every space connected, creating an impossible loop. Rebecca walked for hours, trying to find the exit, passing through the same rooms over and over, each time seeing furniture rearranged, photos changed, until she couldn't remember which version of the house was real. The fifth house in Baton Rouge had a bathtub filled with black water. The water never drained, and all night Rebecca heard someone drowning in it, choking, thrashing, gasping. But when she looked, the surface was always still. By the time she left the fifth house, Rebecca barely recognized herself. Her reflection showed someone older, gaunt, eyes sunken and ringed with dark circles that hadn't been there a week ago. Her hair had gray streaks. Her hands shook constantly. She called Mr. Whitmore from a motel in Louisiana. "I need to stop," she said, her voice cracking. "Something's wrong. The houses are doing something to me." "You've completed 5, Whitmore said calmly. "You're nearly halfway." "I look like I've aged 10 years. The will states you must complete all 13 consecutively. If you stop now, you forfeit everything. Do you want to forfeit, Ms. Hart?" Rebecca closed her eyes. $4 million. Enough to change her entire life. But what life would she have left? "No," she whispered. "Then continue. 6 more houses. You can do this." She hung up and stared at herself in the motel mirror. The woman looking back was almost a stranger. But she drove to house number 6 the next evening anyway. Houses 6 through 11. The houses grew worse. In Santa Fe, she spent the night in a house where gravity shifted. She walked on ceilings, crawled along walls, feeling her bones creak under the changing pressure. In Portland, the house had no floor, just a void that showed infinite depths. Rebecca clung to furniture bolted to the walls, terrified of falling. In Spokane, every surface in the house was covered in writing, names, thousands of names. And during the night, she watched new names appear, carving themselves into the walls, predecessors, other people who'd accepted the inheritance. Rebecca found a mirror and saw her own name appearing on her skin, letter by letter, branding itself into her forearm. Each house took more of her youth, more of her sanity, more of whatever made her her. By house 11, Rebecca could barely function. She looked 70, her hair was white, her hands were skeletal. She moved slowly, every joint aching, but she was so close. Just 2 more. House 12, Nevada. The 12th house sat alone in the desert, miles from any town. The address on Whitmore's list simply said, nowhere. Rebecca pulled up at sunset, her rental car coughing. She could barely turn the key. Her hands were too weak. This house looked normal from outside. 1 story, white siding, a regular suburban home somehow transplanted to the middle of nowhere. But when she entered, she knew this was the worst one yet. The house was a perfect replica of her childhood home, every detail. The kitchen where her mother had cooked dinner, the living room where they'd watched TV, her old bedroom with posters still on the walls, and sitting at the kitchen table was a figure. Rebecca froze. It looked like her, but younger. The version of herself from before the houses, healthy, vibrant, smiling. "Hello," the figure said in Rebecca's own voice. "I've been waiting." "What are you?" Rebecca whispered. "I'm what you were, before you started giving yourself away, piece by piece." The figure stood. "Every house took something. Every night, you left a part of yourself behind, and I've been collecting them." Rebecca backed toward the door. "That's not possible. The houses remember everyone who enters. That's what he told you." Your uncle understood. He completed the 13 houses 50 years ago, inherited his own fortune. Look what it cost him. The figure smiled. He died alone, aged beyond recognition, hollowed out, and now you're doing the same. I just need one more night. House 13 won't let you leave. None of them do. We're all still here, all the inheritors, trapped in the properties, feeding the houses, becoming part of them. Rebecca ran. She burst through the door into the desert night, gasping, her heart hammering arrhythmically. She got in the car, turned the key. The engine sputtered, but caught. She drove away from House 12 without looking back. She drove until dawn, putting hundreds of miles between herself and that place. She never went to House 13. Epilogue. Rebecca returned to Boston empty-handed. No inheritance, no fortune. She called Mr. Whitmore to formally refuse. "I'm sorry to hear that," he said, not sounding sorry at all. "The estate will go to charity as specified." "What happened to my uncle?" Rebecca asked. "The real story." Silence. Then, he completed all 13 houses. He claimed his inheritance, and he spent the rest of his life trying to warn people. No one ever listened. "Why didn't you warn me? Would you have believed me? You needed the money. Everyone always needs the money." Whitmore paused. "For what it's worth, you lasted longer than most. Most people don't make it past House 8. He hung up. Rebecca looked at herself in the mirror. She still looked old. The aging hadn't reversed. The houses had kept what they'd taken. She'd spent 12 nights in hell and had nothing to show for it except a body that had aged 30 years in less than 2 weeks. 6 months later, she saw a news article online. "Local woman inherits millions from unknown relative. Must spend nights in 13 properties to claim estate." Rebecca recognized the woman's photo. Young, eager, desperate. She tried to find contact information, tried to warn her. But by the time Rebecca tracked her down, the woman had already started. She'd completed house number 4, and Rebecca knew, with horrible certainty, that she wouldn't stop. No one ever did. The houses always found new inheritors, and the houses always took their payment. Never accept an inheritance without reading the fine print. Some fortunes cost more than money. They cost everything that makes you human. And once the houses start taking, they never give back.